Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. Let me share the presentation. All right. Well, guys, you are here joining me in an English for Specific Purposes class, ESP. ESP, this is actually a series we've been doing now for almost 3 months, and we're almost at the very end. It's week 11 already, which is crazy. It does not feel like it's been that long to me, but I suppose we've been doing this together now for 3 months, all summer. For those who don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Ariella Knight. I am the founder and CEO of the American Institute. We are an English school and a cultural center based in Algiers, and we have classes online as well. I am originally from Boston, but I've lived in a couple of different regions in the US, including the Southwest and what we call the Mid-Atlantic. And I've been in Algeria now for 4 years. It's almost my 4-year anniversary here, which is crazy. And professionally, my background is in business consulting and program management, and then of course, as an English teacher. So that is me, and I'm excited to get to know some of you as well. So a little bit about the class. This is an ESP class. We meet every Tuesday evening. Actually, that comment about tonight, it's Wednesday, that's from last week. We forgot to delete it. So every Tuesday evening from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So we're together for an hour and a half, and the classes are completely free. This is our program. So I hope that we have some people with us who've maybe done a few other weeks. Maybe we even have someone who has done all 10 weeks, but we have studied together English for tourism, English for medicine, English for media, social media, humor, cooking, beauty and fashion, and negotiations. A lot of topics. So we are on our final 2 classes. Those are tonight and next week's class are both academic English. And when we talk about academic English, a lot of times we're talking about writing. So tonight is going to be a different type of class. It's going to be a lot of writing. So get ready to write sentences and share them with us. Tonight we will be doing writing a paragraph and a sentence. And next week we'll be doing writing essays. As a few reminders before we start the class. So as a reminder, it's a B2 class. This means it's advanced intermediate. If it's slightly hard for you, I recommend that you watch the recording afterwards. We are currently being recorded, and this is going to be posted to our YouTube channel. Let me bring Sam on stage now. And he can join us and share the link in the chat. Yes, the previous classes were all recorded. So I'm bringing Sam up here as a panelist with me, and then he's going to go ahead and put in the chat the link. So here's Sam. So just to let you guys know, Sam will remain a nice black box on the presentation with me, but he will help by answering some questions that you might have and just overall moderating the class with me. Okay. Back to the presentation. Oops. Okay, how the class will run. So every week we have a different topic, and classes are a combination of vocabulary, skills development, and guest interviews. Today, we are really focused on just one of these, which is skill development. We are focused on writing skill development. At specific points, I'm going to ask you guys questions. You are welcome to participate via the chat. You raise your hand and I will select randomly, and it allows you to join us on microphone. There's no video, but it's microphone, and you can come and join and speak. The chat, you guys are already in the chat. I see you in there. Use the chat to ask questions related to the topic, to encourage each other. I have it open next to me, but I might not see everything that's written because I'm focused on the presentation. One thing I want to say about the chat is sometimes it can get very busy, which is a bit distracting. So try to use it only as you need to ask questions related to the class or maybe a word of encouragement. The Q&A, we also have a Q&A button. I don't often check the Q&A, but I will ask Sam. Sam can write some answers into the Q&A if you have them. There's a few questions we get all the time, which is, will I get a certificate for the class, and will the class be recorded? So no, you will not get a certificate for the class. We don't track attendance or participation at all, but this is here as a free resource for your own development. And then yes, the class is recorded and you can view it later on YouTube. Sam, can you go ahead and share the link in the chat for the YouTube? Sam will send that here, and you're welcome to watch our previous sessions. There you go, he just sent that one out. So we have some class rules. We are together for an hour and a half, and this is how we're going to make sure we have a good hour and a half class. We will have respect, and we will be civil. We will be nice, and we will be kind, and we will not swear. That means the word here, no profanity, is swearing. So we do not swear in a class, and we won't have any discussion of irrelevant topics, okay? Please do not send links in the chat, and enjoy and help us create a fun and positive learning environment. Sam is here to help moderate if anything is happening or if anyone's behaving inappropriately, that he'll be able to get them out of the classroom. But in almost all of our classes, that hasn't been an issue. Are we all set? We have a dog in sunglasses. Good? Yes? Amazing. I think this was one of the fastest that we went through the introduction, which is really good because we have a busy class for you tonight. Okay. Tonight, we are doing academic English. Before we begin, I want to hear from you. And there's an opportunity to join on a microphone. The question is, in your opinion, what is academic English? Oh, you know what I didn't see? I skipped the agenda. I'm so sorry. Okay, pause or think about the question because I'll be coming back. But before we go into the class, I always like to share an agenda. So our agenda for this class, we're talking about how to write a sentence and a paragraph. We will begin by discussing what is academic English. Then we will talk about different parts of speech, a little bit of grammar, and then we're doing writing sentences and writing paragraphs. Okay, now that we have done our agenda, back to discussion time. What is academic English and how is it different from regular English? So I'm going to call some people up to talk. The way you join on microphone is you click the little button that raises your hand. So you hit raise hand, and then I will go in and, oh my gosh, I already see so many hands. I go in, I don't even really look at the names, and I pick randomly, okay? So only a few people get to speak, but please, when you get called up, just go right into the question and try to keep it short so more people can go. So let's start with Brahim. Brahim, if you're there, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Yes, I hear you. Yes, thank you very much. Academic English is the formal. And
can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Do you hear me?
Hello?
Do you hear me?
Maybe not enough connection. Sometimes we run into connection issues. What about Ayman? Ayman, are you there? Do you have connection?
Hello? Is there any voice? Hello?
Yes. Hello, Ayman. Welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity to actually give an answer for this question.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So as far as I am concerned, I think that academic English is every writing that is actually toward the academic things, like writing in the scientific approach and in the scientific methods. So everything in this way is academic English.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Ayman.
Thank you.
All right, Ayman was very brave and went first on microphone at the very beginning of the class. So thank you, Ayman. Something I really liked that you brought up is you mentioned the phrase, the scientific method, immediately reminding us that when we talk about academic English, we're actually very close to scientific English, because academic English is what we use to write articles, articles that usually concern research. So academics, which is what we call university professors or people who work at universities, they're writing articles and they have to write research results in a scientific manner. So when we're talking about scientific English, we're very close with academic English as well. Okay, amazing. Let's get someone else up here. How about Rehab? Rehab, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for choosing me to talk.
Of course, go right ahead.
So I think that academic English is the way that we use to talk, like when we are in establishment where we study and where we ask for information, where we talk about scientific and serious things, like we use scientific words and those kind of thing, like scientific words, scientific expressions, and stuff like that.
Okay, amazing. Thank you very much, Rehab. Very good. Rehab is building on what Ayman is saying about the scientific type of language that we're using with words and phrases. I hear that, I just looked at the chat that you guys could hear Brahim, and I could not hear Brahim, and I feel very sad. Brahim, if you're here, I'll bring you right back up. I don't know if you still have your hand up. I think maybe it was my microphone. I see another Brahim, but I don't know if it's the same one. I see two Brahims here. I don't know who was called up before, so one of you is coming back up. And we'll see if it's the same Brahim or the new one. But I hate that I missed someone who was speaking. Brahim, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you the Brahim who I called before?
No, I'm another one.
You're Brahim number 2. Okay, so we'll get the other Brahim back up here as well.
No problem.
Well, while you're here, Brahim, welcome, and tell us what is different about academic English.
Actually, I studied some courses of academic English in Canada, which is called Langara English for academic purposes. And the difference I can see is that they prepared us to study at university, mainly understand lectures and take notes and paraphrase texts from books and articles. Then they prepare for writing scientific articles, as you said already. And I think at the topest level is they prepare students to give lectures and write books and articles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Brahim. Brahim number 2.
Sure.
All right, so Brahim is pointing out that academic English can actually encompass much more than just writing articles. There's learning how to paraphrase when you read an academic text, there's participating in a university level classroom, and then even preparing yourself to give presentations or lectures. So yes, academic English also has to do with all the English or all the skills we need in universities. That's completely true. Okay, I see that Brahim number 1 has, well, if there was a Brahim number 1, which, okay, I think either it's a new Brahim, maybe it's number 3, or this was number 1. I really don't remember who I'd called.
Yeah, I think I should change my name.
Are you number 1?
Yes, yes.
Oh, hi, Brahim. I can hear you now. I'm so sorry I couldn't hear you before.
No problem. So what I was saying is the academic English is the one we use in the learning environments and is the one appropriate for studying, the one we use in the universities and in learning institutions. Like we find this in assignments, in books, and in presentations, in seminars, in debates. That's it. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm glad we got you back up here. All right, you guys, I see also some great answers in the chat. People talking about sort of writing styles, writing scientific articles, more of that. I saw someone use the word coherence, which I love. Coherence, meaning what you're writing is very clear, it's understandable, it's maybe designed for a specific audience. I saw someone else mention that it's very formal language. So let me show you what we wrote here. Academic English is a type of English used most in the world of research, studies, and teaching. So everyone who said academic English has to do with everything related to universities, we can even say related to academia, that's entirely correct. And it also has to do with research, which is what we talked about with scientific articles. Then we have actually 3 characteristics about academic English that we're going to go into further detail. Academic English uses complex language, and it is formal, it is precise, and it is objective. And these 3 things help distinguish it from other types of English. Academic English can also have a slightly different style depending on the target audience. So for example, scientific essays, an essay by, let's say, biologists, might have a different style than sociological essays. So every different audience, we could also say sector or field, might have slightly different ways of writing academically. And when you are hoping to join that field or you want to study in that field, you do need to get more specific. You need to learn not just academic English, but academic English as it is used in your field. However, no matter what field or what area you're using academic English in, the language will be formal, precise, and objective. These 3 characteristics are true no matter what. So, in your opinion, and for this one, I know it says raise hand, but we're going to do in the chat. I want you to write to me. How do you write English in a formal way? What makes written English more formal? How do I know when I'm reading something formal? I'm ready for the chat. Tell me in the chat, how do I, okay, avoiding slang, good. Certain vocabulary, good. Refined words, yes. Respecting punctuation and grammar, beautiful. Avoiding typos, avoiding abbreviation, very nice, Rehab. We use well-chosen words. No slang, good grammar. We don't use emotions, okay, interesting. Specific words, word choice. Okay, complex words. We avoid contractions, very good. Oh my gosh, you guys, you're writing very quickly. I can't read them all. Certain vocabulary, scientific words, technical jargon. Someone said formal equals respecting the rules. That's definitely true. Okay, I'll give a few more minutes. Someone says you might have introduction and conclusion. So this idea of having a structure to your writing. Someone says, Fatima Zora is using the words I like, coherence and cohesion. Okay. Very, using would and could, says Yusuf. Okay, so we call these modal verbs, using modal verbs, good. With no plagiarism, says Nadia. That's definitely true. Never, never plagiarize anything in academic English or they will throw it out. Okay, beautiful, you guys. Thank you for your answers. So this is what we have put as 3 things that shows you you're using formal English, or rather 3 things that you must do to keep your English formal. So number 1, use uncontracted verbs. Instead of saying don't, you say do not. Okay, this makes your English more formal. Also using the full forms of words, meaning avoiding acronyms. Instead of saying ASAP, you say as soon as possible. Okay, when we are speaking English or writing English in a casual context, we tend to value efficiency. And we can be very casual in English. We want to say what we need to say quickly and easily to get the information across. Well, we do want to get the information across in academic English as well. It's more formal. And so we don't accept the same level of abbreviation or contraction. Next is use proper punctuation. This is huge. If we see anything that is supposedly academic, but it misuses punctuation, so maybe there is no commas and the sentence is 3 lines long with no commas, or perhaps there's too many commas, and every 4 words is a comma and a comma and a comma. So it's not a question of using a lot of punctuation or a little bit of punctuation. It's a question of using it correctly, okay? And then avoid conversational and slang language, which you guys got exactly correct, okay? We don't use anything slang. We don't use anything that's not considered dictionary level English. If the word is not in the dictionary, we do not use it in an academic English setting. Very good. Someone else wrote no mistakes. And I think by this, you mean no typos. And that's absolutely true. So no spelling mistakes or spelling errors in the documents. This is what makes a piece of writing formal. Now, we're also going to share in the chat. Tell me, how can you keep your writing objective? Objective means you're avoiding being personal or subjective, which is the opposite of objective. How do you keep writing objective? What are some things that you can do? Because academic writing has to be objective. Okay, good. Answers are coming in. Khaled says, stay neutral or be neutral. Allah says, avoid the pronoun I. Very good. Hanan says, avoid showing your opinions and your emotions. Good. No joking. Avoid emotions. Don't show your opinion. Be professional. Go straight to the point. Avoid mentioning yourself, like using the I. Very good. Avoid I and avoid we. Good. Okay. Avoid sharing your thoughts. Rely on data. Very good, Sophia. Okay. Use logic. Avoid emotions. Use scientific facts. Very good. Stick to reliable sources. Thank you, Walid. I love that. Reliable sources. Very good. Oh my gosh, there's so many answers. Okay, I can't read all of them as much as I want to, but I see that you guys are getting these exactly correct. Use arguments. I see some people saying use passive sentences. I don't think you need to use passive sentences to be objective, but it can help if you want to use them. In English, we do not love passive sentences. We really prefer active. So I would find an active sentence that is non-personal as opposed to a passive sentence. For those here who already know the grammar I'm talking about, for those who don't know what I'm saying, that's okay. We won't cover that in this lesson, but we don't need it right now. Okay, so always support arguments with evidence. Okay, this is the first thing that we have for objectivity. Always support arguments with evidence. In order to demonstrate that you are being objective and that you are not being personal or you don't have a bias, you need to have evidence to support what you say. If I say Canadians are really mean, I have to have evidence. And if I do not have evidence, it means it's not objective. And that is also not objective because Canadians tend to be very nice. Use an impersonal language style. So you guys understood that one immediately. Do not use I in an academic essay and do not use we, and try to remove yourself from the entire subject area. You can say the research demonstrates or logic shows, right? Rather than I think, I find, okay? We find other ways of saying the same thing without ourselves. And then the last one is avoid expressing your opinions and feelings. All right, and you guys also got this one immediately. In order to appear objective in an essay, an academic writing essay, you need to avoid showing your own personal thoughts and opinions. All right, if we do that, if we start sharing opinions, that becomes what we call an opinion piece or an op-ed. And it's another style of writing, that's wonderful, but most often universities or let's say applications that ask for statements, they're not looking for opinions so much as they're looking for an example of strong writing skills and strong arguments. Okay, the last one, I don't see the question for, but I don't want to give it away. It's about precision. So you guys remember we have 3 things for what makes academic English different than regular English. We had formality, we have objectivity, and precision. I can see my next slide is going straight into the answer, so I'm not going to change the slide, but if you can think about it, what do you think makes English precise? What are some things that we can do to make English very precise? Okay, using scientific and specific words, accurate vocabulary, being direct, using the right words. Yep, more direct, using specific grammar, direct, jargon, special jargon. Okay, staying in the same topic, being logical, avoiding repetition, good. More active phrases, very good. Short sentences, Jahida, I like that. In English, we do love a short sentence. Clear idea, specific vocabulary. Sharif, Ibrahim agrees, don't be wordy. Use the right adjectives. Present tense, okay. All right, precision. So here we go with our active versus passive. To be precise, we like to see the active voice. I ran, I ate, I did, okay? The research shows, I don't know, great progress is more precise than saying great progress was shown, okay? Passive voice is harder to know who is the actor, all right? We prefer active voice for precision. Avoid expletives, okay? This is avoiding anything additional or anything unnecessary. There are and it is. We have more. There are many factors that contribute or many factors contribute. You can take off the phrase there are and you can just simply start the sentence. And then be concise, meaning don't add extra details. We do need evidence for an argument, but once you have stated the evidence clearly, you move to the next point. You do not need to repeat yourself over and over. I'd like to point out that last point about avoiding repetition. I think that some other languages, I think Arabic, you guys can correct me, but I think Arabic actually encourages repetition of ideas. I think maybe because it's more poetic or it's considered more accurate to repeat what you're saying multiple times. In English, we do sometimes repeat, but it's short. We mention something, we explain the idea, and then we might, at the very end, repeat what we're saying. Okay, but if there's a lot of repetition, I saw someone say the word redundancy. We don't like that. We feel like you're losing space to bring a new idea by continuing to mention the same idea. Okay, I can see you guys are maybe not necessarily agreeing with if it's in Arabic, and it's true that I don't know that either. But I've heard from people who write in Arabic, it can be repetitive. Sometimes in French, I notice it's more repetitive than in English as well. So it might not be Arabic, but some languages do encourage repetition. English is not one of those languages. Okay, we are now doing parts of speech. So we're moving into a little bit of grammar. So if you remember the agenda, we did what is academic English. Now we are doing the parts of speech in English. So try to brush off or wake up the grammar part of your brain. I don't know, maybe you took a grammar class yesterday, or maybe you took it 15 years ago, but we're doing grammar. And then we're going to move into our writing exercises for today. Okay, oh, sorry. Oops, nouns. I'm immediately giving it away. Can you name all 8 parts of speech? Oh my gosh, and you guys, I'm just noticing you were already doing it. Okay, beautiful. Noun. I see Hiba sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Hiba, I think you're missing 1. I see Kaisa sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I don't think one of the ones you included is correct. I don't want to read it out loud or else everyone will get the answer. So try to send me, you guys. What's the list of 8? Zahra found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Yamina, you're making me guess the full words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Who can get all 8? Shahinaz. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good, Shahinaz. Fatma, Rima. Take your best shot, you guys. Send me the 8. Let's see what you can think of. I'm not going to give answers or feedback yet so that people have time to finish writing, and then I'll show you what's on the slide. And I can see some people are bringing a couple of different things in there. I saw someone saying active voice. I saw someone saying body paragraph. So those are not exactly parts of speech, but they are relevant for the discussion. Right now we're doing parts of speech like noun, verb, and I won't give any more. All right, I think a lot of you guys got close. I see a few that are commonly being forgotten. So let's go through them together. All 8 parts of speech. First, we have nouns. Give me an example of a noun, please. An example of a noun, not the definition. Okay, Yamina, you're the winner. Yamina just writes book. Someone said Ariella. I mean, this is accurate. Yes, car. Okay, dog, factories, table, speech, window, cat, phone, the teacher. Good. So nouns, here we have our own examples. Dog, pasta, train, hair, right? These are people, places, things. Verbs, give me an example of verbs. To book, to drive, eat, go, write, arrive, study. Oh my gosh, you guys are so fast. Drink, do, good. These are our actions. We start every infinitive verb with the word to fly, to break, to play. You guys will see why we have to go over this because the next part relies on making sure we all know what is a noun and what is a verb. Okay, very good. Pronouns, give me an example of a pronoun. She, he, you, we, it, they. Good. I, you, he, she, it. I think that's about all of them except for they, oh, and we. Okay, very good. Adjectives. Give me examples of adjectives. Colorful, beautiful, good, famous, nice, busy. Ooh, suspenseful. I like that. Pretty, happy, smart, vivid. Oh, I also like that one. Okay, very nice. Adjectives. These are description words. Tall, beautiful, boring. Next, interjections. Who knows what these are? Interjections. Wow, bravo. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of different things in interjections. All right, I'm going to show you what we have here. Yeah. Wow. Ouch. Huh. Those little words that interject in the middle of a sentence or the middle of an idea. Good. Adverbs. Who can share an adverb? Ikram wins first place. Slowly, suddenly, quickly, hardly, firmly, all unfortunately. Very good. So most often we're seeing adverbs with the ly at the end. We have slowly, proudly, safely. Prepositions, please. I missed my prepositions winner. I think I'm with Abdul Halim. Very good. At, on, in, by, with, about, and, on. Well, okay, not and. Out and on. On, at, in, very good. Prepositions, this is what you have before locations or time or dates. And last we have conjunctions. Show me conjunctions. Ibrahim, I think you're my winner. And, but. And, but. Good. Here's some other. But, while, until, so. Very good. So these guys, these are the 8 parts of speech. Nouns, verbs, pronouns, adjectives, interjections, adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. All right, the ones I think you most commonly left off were pronouns. I saw a lot that didn't have pronouns, and I saw a lot that did not have interjections. Okay, but these are 8 parts of speech in English. All right, now I want to know, can you name the part of the sentence? This is a little quiz, okay? We're gonna see who can answer it fast. Get your fingers ready. I want to go buy ice cream. Mohammed was first. Noun, very good, you guys. Number 2, ready? I have a long essay to write. Adjective, oh, you guys are too fast, I missed who it was. Who's my winner? Rehab, very good. Adjective, long essay, modifying the word essay. Beautiful. Number 3. Ready? That was an exciting movie. I have adjective and adverb both coming out. It's another adjective. We tricked you guys. I'm not sure who said adjective first. Hold on, let me scroll, let me look. Adverb, adjective, adverb, adjective. Let me check. I think you guys are a competitive group, am I right? Okay, I'm not sure, but I think maybe it was Warda. All right, next, we bought him a gift. Him. Warda. Well, you just wrote pro, but I respect the competition, the competitive spirit. You wanted it to be fast, but then we've got pronoun. Beautiful. All right, we've got a few more. Number 5. I will read a book while I wait. I got a lot of different ones coming in for, okay, I have everything. Now I'm mostly seeing conjunction, but I got preposition, I got adverb, I got conjunction. I think it was those 3. Let's see what we have. Conjunction. I don't know who won, you guys. It's a lot of scrolling to figure out the winner here, but now I've committed myself, I think. Who's my first conjunction? I think it was this person on a Dell computer under Dell. I'm not sure. Okay, Yalla, we move on. Number 6. He put the candy in the cabinet. In. Preposition. Yeah, you guys are very, very fast typers. Preposition. Very good. Number 7. The firemen arrived very quickly. Lamia, good job. I think you were number 1, maybe. Adverb. And the last one is, I will take the train. Sabrine said verb, and I swear you said verb before I even opened it. So maybe you were just putting a guess out there, but I think Sabrine got it first. All right, very good, you guys. What this tells me is, number 1, we have a very competitive group here today. Number 2, that in general, you know your parts of speech. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to move on, and we're actually going to start dissecting the sentence. This is why we had to do this. Before we can understand the correct way to write a sentence in English, we need to know the different parts of the sentence. Oh no, this is it. This is us starting on sentences. Okay, I have a discussion time topic. Get ready if you want to come on microphone. The question is, what is the difference between a phrase and a sentence? And I want your own words for this, okay? Just what do you think is the difference between a phrase and a sentence? All right, let's see some raised up hands, please. All right, I'm going to bring up Mehdi. Mehdi, come on up.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. I think that the difference between a phrase and a sentence, that we can use a lot of phrases in a sentence, but a phrase, it can only have a noun and a verb, and yeah.
Okay. So
the regular thing.
Okay, very good. So we can use a lot of phrases in a sentence, but not a lot of sentences in a phrase. Good. Thank you, Mehdi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, who else wants to come up here? What about Suhail? Do you want to come up? I don't know if maybe Mehdi stole the whole answer, but you're welcome to contribute. Suhail, you have to unmute your microphone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Hello, Ariella, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So to answer the question, the difference between a phrase and a sentence, the phrase is composed of two parts of speech or of 2 words or more, and it can be part of the sentence. And there are many types of phrases, like a prepositional phrase, a verbal phrase, a noun phrase, and the sentence is complete. It's composed of noun, verb, and adjective.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Suhail.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think between the two of them, they did a great job. So I'm going to keep us going. Everyone who had your hands up, get ready for the next one. So I think Mehdi and Suhail found it perfect. So a phrase is a group of words that does not express a complete thought, and it does not contain both a subject and a verb. So it's both of these things. I want you to pay attention to this idea that it does not express a complete thought. It is not something that can stand alone. However, a sentence is a group of words that does express a complete thought, and it can contain a number of phrases. Suhail started to go into some specifics about prepositional phrase, about noun phrase, about verbal phrase, which is all amazing. We won't get into that level of detail today, but what you need to know for today is that we have phrases that are shortened and that do not complete the thought and do not have a subject and verb. And then we have sentences that complete a thought, have a subject, and have a verb. Okay? Now we're going to test your knowledge of this. So take a second, get it in your brain, because we're about to test you. This is the game we're playing now. I look forward to this class. Is this a phrase or a sentence? I see people saying both. I look forward to this class. Well, let's test. We know that a phrase has an incomplete idea and a sentence has a complete idea. I look forward to this class. To me, that is a complete idea. There's nothing missing. Okay. We also know that a phrase does not have a subject and a verb. A sentence does have a subject and a verb. Tell me, are there subjects and verbs in this? Yes. What is the subject? I. Good. What is the verb? Look. Okay, if you want to get fancy, this is actually a phrasal verb and it is look forward to, but I accept look. Very good. So this, my friends, is a sentence. We have a complete thought, we have a subject, and we have a verb. Let's go to the next. Is this a phrase or a sentence? When I was a little girl. When I was a little girl. Okay, so here we have a subject and a verb. What's the subject? I. Good. What's the verb? Was. Very good. But is this a complete idea? No. This is not complete. We don't know what they're going to finish saying. When I was a little girl, what? We need something to follow it. So it's a phrase. Very good. Next. Is this a phrase or a sentence? Why are you so tired today? Why are you so tired today? Okay, where is the subject? You. Good. The subject is you. And the verb? Are. The verb is are. I see some people writing tired, but the verb is are. Okay, the subject is you, the verb is are. Does it express a complete idea? I see some people saying no, some people saying yes. Yes, the answer is yes. This completes the idea. If I say this alone, there's no confusion. Everything I needed to say is included. This is a sentence. Very good. And yes, it's also a question. It's also a question. Next, is this a phrase or a sentence? Despite my best efforts. Despite my best efforts. I'm seeing both sentence and phrase. So tell me, what is the subject? It's getting harder. What is the subject? My, okay, people are saying my, someone's saying there is no subject. Okay, you could actually say my best efforts is the subject. My best efforts. My and best are modifying, so really the noun here is efforts. The subject is my best efforts. And where is the verb? It's getting very quiet in the chat. There's no verb. Okay, so here we have something that has no verb. Good. Does it express a complete thought? No, it does not. We have no idea what's happening. So I saw some people asking, what does this mean despite? Despite means, I guess another synonym is although I gave great efforts, and then what follows is usually saying there was a failure. Despite my best efforts, I missed the deadline. Despite my best efforts, I will be late. It's a way of showing, even though I tried, I'm not able to meet the standard of something. Okay, so this is a phrase. Very good. Next. No, I hope you didn't see it. Did you see it? Okay, is this a phrase or a sentence? Man, this was my really fun one, and I went ahead on the PowerPoint. Okay, night fell quickly. Night fell quickly. What is the subject? Night. What is the verb? Fell. Very good. Does this express a complete idea? Yes, it does. Very good. So that means it's a sentence. So the reason I was excited to show you guys this one is I wanted to show you that a sentence does not have to be long. Although we automatically assume a phrase is short and a sentence is long, those are not the rules. You can have a long phrase, you can have a short sentence. It's about the subject, verb, and the complete idea. Mohammed is asking, why is it not the night fell quickly? Well, if we say the, we're describing a specific incident of nighttime, the night, or as if there's one night. There's no one night. Night is a general concept. The night would be if we were talking about a specific time in our calendar, the night of my birthday, for example. But as a general condition, night is not something we can add a definite object to. Night fell quickly. Okay. Waleed is asking if I can share the longest phrase I can think of. I have no idea, Waleed. I will try to think of something and come back with the longest phrase. But I do have to say a common academic English writing mistake I see in Algeria are people using phrases with no completion of the thought or either missing subject, missing verb. So using a phrase instead of a sentence. And sometimes it's a long phrase. It's a phrase and then a comma and a phrase and a comma. It can go on for a long time. So it is something, it sounds obvious, but when you're writing, it can happen easily that you are not using sentences. Okay, we have another. Is this a phrase or a sentence? This is my best friend's car. Now you guys are really sure of yourselves. Everyone's saying sentence, sentence, sentence. Okay, what is the subject? Well, actually, that's way too hard for this. This is for now. Okay, we'll just say this. I accept it. And what is the verb? Is. Very good. I don't want to get into subject and object around the phrase this is, so we're just going to say this is a sentence and we move forward. Next, my personal nightmare. Is this a phrase or a sentence? Okay, you guys are getting the hang of this. Everybody's saying phrase. Good. This is a phrase because there is no verb and it's not a complete idea. Okay, we don't know what the personal nightmare is. We don't know anything about it. You're just stating my personal nightmare. Good, there's no verb. Very fluffy dog walking by. Very fluffy dog walking by. Is this a phrase or a sentence? Now we're pretty split, sentence and phrase. Okay, so let's go through it. What is the subject? Dog. What is the verb? Okay, someone said it. There is no verb here, guys. Walking by is a description. It is not a verb. The dog walks or the dog is walking. If I have is walking, we're using a continuous tense. When I say walking by, this is now a description of the dog, making it play the role of an adjective. A very fluffy dog walking by. There's no verb. Is it a complete thought? No, because there's no verb, so we don't know what actually is the point. Why are we talking about the dog? What is it doing? What does it want? What does it mean to us? It's just a description. So this is a phrase. Good, I think that was our last one. Okay, so now I want you to start to get ready to write some of your own sentences. We have gone over parts of speech. We have gone over phrase versus sentence. And now the last part of how to write a sentence is actually writing different parts of, or writing different types of sentences. So we have 3 different types of sentences we'll talk about today, and they go from very simple to quite complicated. So we have what is called the simple sentence. We have what is called the compound sentence. And we would have what is called the complex sentence. So the simple sentence has one subject, it has one verb, and it is a complete thought. We can consider this the most basic kind of sentence. Examples are, the train was late. We have a subject, it's the train. We have a verb, it's was. And we have late, which is the description, the adjective. The train was late. It's a complete thought. Another one, my father reads newspapers. My father is the subject, reads is the action, and newspapers is the object. And then we have the connection is bad, simple, subject, verb, complete thought. This is the first type of sentence you learn when you're learning English. It's basic, it's simple, and it has all the correct parts. All right, you share. Give me a simple sentence, please. I am beautiful. I am running. She tried her best. Very good, Hanan. That's a simple sentence. I don't know if you were actually trying to do a contribution. Hanan you might have been commenting about the class, but she tried her best is a simple sentence. I go to school today. I miss my family. I tried so hard. The weather is cloudy. It's hot today. I like healthy food. This curse is, oh, this course is very good. Very good, this course. Oh, thank you. This movie is interesting. The baby is crying. I don't like the exam. Good. It is still a simple sentence if you make it negative. Very good, Khaled. I learn English. I'm waiting for the match. Thank you, Salah. You guys are flattering me in these comments. I want to learn English. I follow carefully. Good. I went to the university today. My daughter is beautiful. I shall never forget you. So beautiful. Adam, I would be careful about this. This to me does not look simple. I shall never forget you. So beautiful. We need a verb. I shall never forget you, comma, you are so beautiful, which now that we have a comma, it's no longer simple. So that's too long. That's too complicated for simple sentence. Ahmed eats an apple. Ines, very good. Eats with an S. The man is watching movies. I miss my country. I want to enjoy my day off today. Very good, Kahina. So even though that's a long sentence, it's still simple. I want to enjoy my day off today. Okay, we have a complete thought, we have a subject, we have a verb, and we have an object. I want to travel abroad. You guys are giving me very nice comments in the chats here. I'm practicing English now. Good. Oh my gosh, there's 99 more. Oh wow. Okay, I don't have time to read all of them. I'm sorry if I missed yours. You guys, but this is perfect because all of you should be writing simple sentences. Use this as a workshop, not just a time to listen, but actually to write and get maybe my feedback or the feedback of your classmates. At the bottom, it just said 99 more messages to read. Okay, very good. So now we're going to look at the next version. Compound sentence. We're getting more complicated. So this is two independent ideas. They each have subjects and verbs, but they're joined. And I see Nasima saying two clauses. Nasima, you're right. These are two clauses. So as an example, here's number one. I was waiting for the train, comma, but the train was late. These are two complete ideas, and they can exist as independent sentences. I was waiting for the train, period. That's a complete sentence. The train was late, period. That's also a complete sentence. When you join them together, you have what is called a compound sentence. Okay, you can see that we have a subject and a verb with each part, and then we have a conjunction. That's the but. And as always, when you use a conjunction to join these ideas, you need the comma. We love a comma. All right, give me a compound sentence. I see some of you have already started. Kauthar says, I want to travel, but I have no money. Beautiful. Not beautiful, the reality of the sentence, the meaning of it, but beautiful sentence. Just make sure you have a space after the comma. We need a space. Ahmed says, when I arrived to the train station, the train had already left. Perfect. Sidali says, I like fishes despite I have an allergy. Okay, after despite you need, I like fishes despite that I have an allergy, or even though. I prefer even though. I like, and remember, fish is not countable. So we say, I like fish even though I have an allergy. Good. I bought a book, but I didn't read it yet. Very good. I had a day off, so I decided to sleep the whole day with an O. Good. Zineb, I tried to do it, but I failed. That's funny. Like you tried to do the exercise, but you failed, but it's a perfect sentence. I learn fast, but I forget fast too. That's funny, Wafa. Make sure you have two O's on two, okay? To make it the two that means in addition. I was reading a book while waiting for my dad to arrive. So Yasmin, this one does not actually work, okay? I was reading a book. This is good because you can say I was reading a book. You can make that a complete sentence. You have to imagine that you could put a period. I was reading a book, okay? While waiting for my dad to arrive. Waiting for my dad to arrive, this is not independent, Okay, this cannot stand alone as an independent clause. Okay, it is relying on the first part of the sentence to make sense. So you could rewrite this and you could say, I was reading a book because my dad was late. Okay, because those are two completely separate things. You can attach them or you can keep them separate. I was reading a book, period. My dad was late, period. They can exist on their own. So what you have written is actually the next category of sentence. It's correct English, but it's not this type of sentence. Okay, Hanan, you've made the same mistake. When I'm about to give up, I remember my goal. These are two sentences, or the first part of the sentence depends on the second part to make sense. They're not fully independent. Okay, I was hungry for the dinner. Unfortunately, the dinner was burnt. He's very good with numbers. He works in finance. I missed my exam because I was sick. I like today's session, but I feel sick. Okay. All right, you guys, I see that you've sent so many more. I played a good game, but I had an injury. Good. I like cats, but I can't keep one in my house. Good. I like your class, but time is not enough. That's very sweet. So Mamar, be careful here. You said, but time, it is not enough. You don't need to repeat the noun. Time is good. You can say time is not enough. Although actually correct English is to say, I like your class, but it is too short. We don't use this, we don't say time in this way. There is not enough time. It doesn't fit perfectly. So I recommend, I like your class, but it is too short. I will not leave the hotel until my guests come. Good. Okay, he's smart, but he's not organized. Very good. Okay, I see some in here that also have the same problem as the other ones we discussed. They are clauses that are dependent on each other. So let's move to the next section. Complex sentence. This is one independent idea connected to a dependent idea. It can actually be connected to many dependent ideas. But the idea, the concept of this is that there are parts of the sentence that cannot exist alone. Here are some examples. Although the train was late, I arrived on time. So that's the example we just saw from Yasmin. So Yasmin, your sentence was perfect for this type. Okay, the first part of the sentence is dependent. It doesn't make sense alone. Although the train was late, you cannot put a period after that and have a complete idea. No, although the train was late, I arrived on time. So the independent part of the sentence is I arrived on time. The dependent part is although the train was late. So we have a conjunction, although, and then we have our dependent idea, our subject, the train, our verb was, and then our completely independent part of the sentence, I arrived on time. Oops. All right, guys, give me some complex sentences. I want to see dependent clauses. Even though it was raining, I made it to my house. Good. Although the weather was cold, I did my running. Good. I did my running. We don't say this in English. We say I ran. It's much shorter. Although the weather was cold, I ran. Maybe you want to say I still went for a run. You can use the noun form, went for a run or a jog. Okay. No matter how much I was tired, I always feed my cat when I get home. Well, Sarah, I'm happy you feed your cat. Just make sense. Make sure that the timing is matching. So we have a past tense and then we have a present tense. I would say, no matter how tired I am, I always feed my cat. So they're both in present tense. Poor Khalid says, even though the dinner was burned, I was forced to eat it. If I ever get the chance, I would travel the world. If you work hard, you will succeed. Although the event was boring, I went there anyways. This, for me, you guys, I think you get this one the easiest. I don't know why, but I read this a lot in my students' writing. Maybe it's similar to other languages, but this idea of having a lot of different dependent ideas, I think is easy to get. The harder one is the compound one, where you have two independent ideas. So you're doing great. Even though I didn't study for my exam, I still got an A. Although I was tired, I stayed up studying. Very good. Whatever the ESP class, I will be watching you. Oh, you guys are sweet. Okay. Although the company's marketing strategy was on point, sales weren't, we'd say weren't improving or weren't growing instead of raising. Weren't improving, I prefer. Okay. Despite my sickness, I managed to do my tasks. Despite the hard times, she succeeded. Despite that I like English, I can't learn it. So actually this one, despite that I like English, I can't learn it. Yeah, okay, this would be a complex sentence. Well, Feriel, I'm sure you can learn English. Everyone can learn English, and just being here in class is a huge step towards that. Okay, you guys, you did great with the sentences, amazing with the sentences. See, Sally, even though we negotiate for more classes, Ariella gives us less. Do I give you less? But yes, we did have a good negotiation last week. On extra classes, we'll see what the embassy says, and then I will get back to you. Okay. All right, those are the three different kinds of sentence ideas, you guys. You did a great job. I want to know if you have any questions about writing sentences. Learning how to write is one of those things that you can only learn by doing it. You only learn to write by writing. You only fix your mistakes by making those mistakes. So this writing presentation I'm giving you today and the practice I'm having you do in the chat, I hope this pushes you to actually start writing more, because that is the only way that you'll start to understand and implement the different rules in English writing. But if you have any questions for me about writing a sentence, I can try to answer them now. If it's complex grammar, I might have to get back to you. Even me, I have to think back on grammar. Let's see. I see some good questions, but they're not about sentences, so I might save them for the end. Khalid is saying, do we have to use simple phrases? That's a really good question, Khalid. You do not need to use simple phrases, but I encourage you to use them in English more than other languages. English is a direct language. Our sentences tend to be shorter than other languages, and that's for a reason, because English as a language prioritizes efficiency. We want to have the efficient path to understanding something, and often it's short sentences. A really great way to edit something, especially if you know that you are someone who can have long sentences, or someone who's translating from Arabic, which has very long sentences. A great way to initial edit, like your first edit, is to ask yourself, can I change that comma into a period? And if I can, let's do it. And then once you've changed all of your commas into periods, so you're basically splitting your sentences when possible, then afterwards you can read it and see, oh, okay, maybe I should put these back together. They're better when they're attached, but it will give you a good way to start to see what short sentences look like and help you get in the habit of writing them. Okay, let's see. Someone here is saying, what about punctuation? Punctuation is extremely serious in English. If you are writing an academic essay and you have punctuation errors, it could hurt your score. So if you're a student and you write an essay that normally would get 100% or A+, but you have the comma in the wrong place, meaning it's next to the wrong letter, you have a space and then a comma instead of it right after, the teacher will circle that, and that will be deducted from your points. English is very, very selective and specific about punctuation. So it is worth your time to put your essays through a spell check. Spell checks these days, they check for grammar and punctuation. Okay, and even though, you know, companies or native speakers, we understand if people make mistakes every once in a while, if they're not native English speakers. If there's a lot of punctuation mistakes in something you submit, you will not be considered as a serious candidate or a serious student. Someone else is saying we need somebody to edit our writing. I think that's completely true. It is always important to have someone else look at your writing. If you guys find someone in your community, whether it's someone at an English school or it's a friend of yours who speaks English, ask them to read what you wrote and ask them, do you know what I'm saying? Is it clear? Is my point clear to you? That is the best way to figure out if your English language is actually communicating your point. And because academic English can have very high vocabulary, it can be very formal, sometimes clarity of what you're saying can get lost. So I really recommend having somebody read your writing. All right, you guys, we don't have a ton of time, but we're going to start learning about paragraphs. Okay, so this lesson was supposed to be how to write a sentence and how to write a paragraph. I'm looking at the time and I think we'll have to do some about how to write a paragraph today and some about how to write a paragraph tomorrow. So a paragraph expresses one main idea only, just one. It's a set of 5 to 6 sentences that serve a shared purpose or a goal. And the goal is to express the same idea. So it is all about the same topic. The sentences in a paragraph should all be related, and the idea should connect with the larger piece of writing, which is the essay. Okay, so a paragraph is usually part of an essay of a larger piece of writing, and therefore what it says, it can't be random. It's part of a bigger story. So how do we write a paragraph? What comes first? What comes second? What do I do? Well, as an American, I'm happy to tell you that there is a hamburger method. This is the hamburger method of writing a paragraph. You have the beginning, which is your bun. Here they call it opening sentence. Me, I call it topic sentence. And then you have your middle. These are your supporting or your body sentences. And then you have the end, which is your closing or concluding sentence, okay? It might seem silly, but there are so many times I've read paragraphs and I say, there's no topic sentence here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be reading. Or the paragraph ends completely abruptly and I realize there was no concluding sentence. So even though we're using a silly picture, it's harder than it looks when you're the one writing to make sure your paragraphs have all of these elements. And yet, if you are missing an element, it is very hard for the reader to understand your point. So let's look at each part in more detail. A topic sentence highlights the main idea and it tells the reader what the paragraph will be about. It's like a big sign on the highway telling you, you are on highway A11. It orients you to where you are. Now we have supporting sentences or body sentences. These support, explain, illustrate, or provide evidence for the idea of the topic sentence. Okay, they are your champion, the cheerleaders. They are going to support everything the first sentence mentioned. And I'll give you an example in a second. And then you have a concluding sentence. This will summarize the main idea. If you have another paragraph afterwards, it should also be a transition between what you just talked about and what comes after. In other words, this is how I describe this. So the first slide was a hamburger. The second slide is more technical definitions, but this is how I like to describe the format of a paragraph. Tell me what you're going to tell me. Number 1, dear Ariella, this paragraph is about. Soccer. Then you tell me, I think soccer is great. I love soccer. Soccer is my favorite sport. Then you tell me what you just told me. In conclusion, Ariella, I have told you about soccer. Okay, to me, I really like this basic understanding. Tell me what you will tell me, then you tell me, and then you tell me what you told me. Maybe some of you will think it's like a tongue twister, but for me, I always use this for introduction, or sorry, for topic sentence, supporting sentence, and concluding sentence. All right, here's an example paragraph that shows you all of the different parts. Number 1, writing strong paragraphs is not an easy task. This is my topic sentence. Okay, so now we know that this paragraph will be about writing strong paragraphs, and it will be talking about how it's not easy. All right, it's a lot of writing, but here's my supporting sentences. It can be hard to figure out what your main idea is when you have so many to choose from. It can also be a challenge to know what order to put your sentences in. Finally, it's often a time-consuming exercise, no matter how good of a writer you are. What you see here, I have 3 sentences that all support the topic sentence. Number 1, it can be hard to figure out your main idea when you have so many to choose from. That's one reason it's not easy to write paragraphs. 2, it's a challenge to know what order to put your sentences in. I've given another reason about why it's hard to write a paragraph. So now I have 2 reasons supporting my topic sentence. And then 3, it's a time-consuming exercise. It takes time, no matter if you're a good writer or a new writer. Okay, so those are 3 reasons that my topic sentence is true. In conclusion, paragraph writing is a skill that takes a lot of time to master, but the benefits make it worth it. All right, that's my example paragraph. I'm going to move us. Oh yes, the last part saying the benefits make it worth it is opening us to a transition so that in the next paragraph, I talk about benefits. Okay, we have enough time to play the game. So this is the paragraph game. We played the sentence game, okay? We found phrases and sentences. The paragraph game, this is much harder. I'm giving you a sentence, which is on the left, and you have to decide without knowing the paragraph if this sounds like a topic sentence, if it sounds like a supporting sentence, or if it sounds like a concluding sentence. Okay, so let's take a minute and read the sentence first. So the sentence is, stress, which can be caused by a lack of sleep, performance anxiety, bullying, and more, can interrupt the ability of students to absorb new information. Is this introducing an idea, making it a topic sentence? Is it supporting an idea, making it a supporting sentence? Or is it restating an idea, making it a concluding sentence? I see supporting sentence. I see supporting, I see someone saying, I see now a few different people saying topic. And now I have someone saying concluding. Okay, so everything's been suggested, but supporting is the winning answer. All right, I'm going to show you the answer, which is supporting. So you don't know what the topic of the paragraph is. You guys are going in blind. But what you can see here is that we are defining stress, or we are describing the impact of stress, okay? Which does not tell me that it's not introducing an idea. It doesn't feel like it's concluding an idea. It feels like it's giving support, it's giving examples. What the idea is, we don't know. We don't know. I see someone saying, Nasima saying topic sentences are shorter, but that's actually not true. This is one sentence, it's long. Topic sentences can be long. However, Nasima is also right that short topic sentences are preferred. Okay, you can have a long one, but we prefer a short one. Another hint that this is a supporting sentence is that we have a list. Stress, which can be caused by a lack of sleep, performance anxiety, bullying, and more. This type of listing of things, it's like evidence. So it's supporting something. Very good. Next, we're in the same paragraph. This is a new sentence. And guys, this game is much harder than the last one, okay? The sentence is, it is therefore extremely important that schools recognize the effect stress on, oh, it's missing a verb, the effect stress has on students and work to reduce stress. Is this introducing an idea? Is it supporting an idea, or is it restating an idea? I see concluding and introducing. Concluding and introducing. Hamdi's saying it's showing the results or the solution to a problem. Mohammed says because of the word therefore, we know it's concluding. Okay, well, you guys are right. And Mohammed, that's a very good point. When we're using therefore, we are summarizing an argument. So now we know this is the conclusion of the paragraph. We've read one supporting sentence and we have read one concluding sentence. There's 3 more to go. This is a 5-sentence paragraph. Let's do the next one. Okay, the next sentence is, furthermore, stress can create behavioral issues that will cause even more problems for the student at school and at home. Okay, furthermore, stress can create behavioral issues that will cause even more problems for the student at school and at home. We know it's not concluding because there's only one concluding sentence and we know it. So is this the topic sentence or is it another supporting sentence? I see a lot of you saying supporting, and it's, you know it is because it has the word furthermore. Okay, and that is true. The word furthermore shows us that we are in a list. I've listed one idea and a second idea, and now furthermore, a third idea. Okay, it is a word that you will see often when we are listing evidence or arguments. Very good. Next. It is important that schools recognize the negative effects of stress on students. Is this a topic sentence or is it another supporting sentence? Remember, it cannot be concluding because we already have the concluding sentence. There's only one. Is it a topic sentence or a supporting? I see topic, topic. Okay, I see one supporting, topic, topic. All right. This is our topic sentence. As Nasima pointed out, topic sentences are usually shorter. This is shorter, and it is stating the idea that the whole paragraph will support. So the whole paragraph we now know is about schools recognizing the negative effect of stress on students. Good. And we have one more sentence. Okay. Well, my arrow might have given it away, but also, even if my arrow didn't give it away, we already had the topic sentence, we already had the concluding sentence. This one has to be a supporting sentence. So the phrase, or the sentence is, studies show that stress reduces the academic performance of children and teenagers by 30%. It's very obviously a supporting sentence because it has a statistic in it. If it has a statistic, then it is going to be supporting an argument and therefore a supporting sentence. Let's see the whole paragraph together. Great job, you guys. This is what a beautiful, if I say so myself, because I wrote it, but a well-organized paragraph looks like. So I'm going to read it out loud, and I want to see if now that you see it together, you can really see the flow from introducing an idea, supporting the idea, and then concluding. So we have the topic sentence. It is important that schools recognize the negative effects of stress on students. Stress, which can be caused by lack of sleep, performance anxiety, bullying, and more, can interrupt the ability of students to absorb new information. Studies show that stress reduces the academic performance of children and teenagers by 30%. Furthermore, stress can create behavioral issues that will cause even more problems for the student at school and at home. It is therefore extremely important that schools recognize the effect stress has on students and work to reduce stress. I did the wrong emphasis. It is therefore extremely important that schools recognize the effect stress has on students and work to reduce stress. Okay? So this is the anatomy of the paragraph. And the next exercise we can't do right now because we've just hit 8 p.m. But when you come back next week, we'll probably do a refresher on the paragraph, and we'll go right into how to write an essay and how to structure an essay. Thank you guys so much for coming. For those of you asking about when the next course is, this course is every week, Tuesday night, taking place 6:30 to 8 p.m. Okay, you guys did a really great job tonight. Writing is one of the hardest skills to master in a foreign language. So be kind to yourselves, be proud of yourselves. It's amazing that you're working on your writing skills, and I encourage you to keep going, writing short stories, writing Twitter posts, writing Instagram captions, but keep working and we will hopefully together help you reach your English goals. All right, have a great evening, you guys, and I hope to see you next week, inshallah. Bye-bye.